It's Owambe Friday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Miriam Longa, and with me are my Owambelicious ladies. Beautiful co-host. How are you doing, BC?
I'm doing well. We bless God. The flood has been flooding in my area. On Wednesday, the flood was so heavy. The school bus got to my house 9:30 p.m. with my little daughter. They were not able to move, like the traffic was not moving. And I heard mainland was a lot different. People were still able to move around. The bus left the school by 3 p.m., did not get to my house 9:30. Wow. My daughter was in the bus. Though her friends were there, so they were all stuck. So they were dropping off. I think the last child, as I yesterday, I heard that the last child got to the house about 10:30. It was just so painful. So the next day I say, Auntie, you're not going to school. Please rest. And the poor girl woke up by 10 a.m.
Of course.
Tired. Woke up tired, but I really do not understand what we can do about the flood situation in Lagos State, especially on the island. We hear a lot of people are still clogging the drainages. We need to do better, because if we affect one, it affects all. Many cars on my street were packed, grounded, submerged. The water, it was really, really heavy. And we are hearing that there's going to be more floods.
The rain is just every day, constantly.
So by now it's not supposed to have started trying to.
I don't know the date to
climate change, darling.
So
Amaka Fresh, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm loving your vibe.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Looks so beautiful. So yesterday was my baby niece's birthday. She turned 3. I can't believe she's 3, and she looks exactly like me. So I always tell my sister that you're just the womb carrier. This speaking of my child, like she looks exactly like me. And Valerie, happy birthday! I love you so much. And then later this evening, we lost a friend, a colleague. So the service of songs is this evening. It's so sad. 1 minute, somebody is here, all bubbly, happy, and then the next minute you're hearing that person is gone. Yeah, it's so sad. And it always gives you time to reflect, to say, if you're holding grudges, what's the point? Just keep it moving. You never know.
Keep it
never
moving.
know. Yes. Nima, how are you?
Nim, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. This talk where you talk, Yesterday I just sat down. I woke up on Tuesday. Everything was fine. Wednesday, we were burying my mother-in-law. And so since then, I've just been zombing into things that she would do, cooking the way she cooks, just trying to hold on to memories. I keep seeing things of how she usually say, "Hey, good friend, you don't want to greet me when I come back and I want to sneak into my house so that I can sleep a few hours." And all of those memories just keep rushing through my head. But tomorrow we're doing 3 days prayers for her, and our fathers will come, would recite the Quran and pray. And have all my family members in the house tomorrow. Hopefully that will help with a bit of closure, so we can then plan towards the main burial in November. But I'm zombieing a lot now. I'm pitying Zip. His phone is ringing non-stop. He's done home people. Now he's going to do Lagos. Just going around, doing it as a day at a time as he can take it.
Our hearts still go out to your family.
Thank you.
How are you? What's the occasion? Where are you going to today? The nails giving, outfit, everything.
Okay, so these Lagos people, it's actually for a celebration of life. It's a funeral.
Wow.
It's not a wedding. But I learned the hard way in Lagos. Because when I first came to Lagos, when they say, we're going for funeral, I'll go there looking like the chief mourner. Meanwhile, those money will be looking. So I've learned. But it's just a family friend. They lost the matriarch of their family, and they're celebrating a life well spent. So I'll be there today. It has nothing to do with the Lajoja coronation, but we are with you in spirit. Yes. All right, ladies, let's go on a short break, and when we'll come back, we'll look at the papers for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. And now let's look at today's papers. And we're starting with The Nation. Major headline, experts, economists, worst times of reforms pains over. Manufacturing has stabilized, gains begin to reach average Nigerians. DHQ, 147 terrorists arrested, dozens killed, 41 kidnapped victims rescued. Barrow Ganduje, others step up plan to displace NMPP in Kano. Ibadan stands still for Ladoja's coronation as 44th monarch. Edo secures $250 million investment at Glasgow Summit. Amcon sells 34% stake to Unity Bank to Providus. And we have 3 children found dead in father's car booth. And the last one here, tinted glass, IG warns against extortions.
Okay, thank God for that. I have the Edo State. So the Edo State government had their Edo State Global Investment Summit, which was held in Glasgow, Scotland. And they were able to sign an agreement with the European African Chamber of Commerce and Industries with the plan to inject $250 million into Edo State economy through various investments from this Chamber of Commerce, which is a Chamber of Commerce with about 98 countries across Europe and Africa membership. So they have about 98 countries, in Europe and Africa whose businesses form the membership of that body, and they are looking to invest that amount. This was brought by the state government and announced by the Director General of the Euro-Africa CCI, Dr. Kingsley Obasahon, and they pledged that this will conform with our local content policies in Edo State, ensuring that their employment targets local content, and that gave me positivity, because I'm more worried about too many expatriates coming, milking the very rich resources of the state and then just going out with their profits. But they are looking at it, and it's going to create employment, of course. It's going to build capacity. It's going to expand industrial value chain within the state, and hopefully this will not be another signed MOU like we had in the past.
Okay. So I have the Defense Headquarters saying that 147 terrorists were arrested and dozens killed. So security agents arrested more than 147 suspected terrorists and other criminals in the last 1 week, according to the Defense Headquarters. They said this yesterday, and they also added that 39 kidnapped victims were rescued within the period. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcus Kangiye, told reporters in Abuja that the troops also foiled theft of crude worth 19.8 million in the South-South. He explained that between September 15 and Monday, I'm trying to get this, technology.
Okay.
What's going on?
As you're trying to sort that
yes.
out, ahead of the October 2nd nationwide enforcement of tinted glass permits, Lagos State Commissioner of Police Olohundare Jimoh has warned officers not to see it as an avenue for extortion. Jimoh told police personnel to avoid harassing motorists, warning that anyone caught would face disciplinary procedures as provided for by the Police Act. The police commissioner gave the warning at the command's headquarters yesterday in Ikeja, following his lecture with officers and men of the command. He stated that the warning was a directive from the Inspector General of Police at the just concluded strategic conference in Abuja. He also said that all officers and men of Lagos State Police Command, from outposts, divisional level to the headquarters, have been admonished to respect the rights of citizens as the police go out to enforce the law. The police commissioner urged the personnel to execute their duty diligently and refrain from extorting citizens before, during, and after their exercise.
Okay.
So yes, they're putting out there. So if perchance police tries to collect money from you because of tinted glass, report to the right place, because they have zero tolerance for that.
Thank you. Should I go ahead?
Yes, so I've seen it. Okay. Yes, so they said troops of the operation had in Kai in the Northeast arrested 26 suspected terrorists, collaborators, and rescued 3 victims. They said vehicles, motorcycles, improvised explosive devices, that's the IEDs, and large quantities of fabrics were recovered from the terrorists. They also added that troops nabbed another 80 suspected terrorists as well as 2 other leaders, Abubakar Amadu and Sawan. They said those 2 are members of a notorious syndicate and they've been on the military wanted list for quite some time now. So in the South as well, the director said the troops arrested 19 suspected all thieves, 9 other criminals, and rescued 9 kidnapped victims. They also destroyed 16 illegal refineries, 14 crude oil cooking ovens, 7 dugout pits, 11 boats, and 8 storage tanks. Yeah, so this and many more are things that our troops have been doing so far. Congratulations to them. They are doing a lot. We always said we need to know what they are doing so that we know where we can help, where we can support, and also applaud them. It's not easy to stick out your life to preserve your country.
Okay, thank you for that. Let's move on to the next paper, The Punch. The Daily Sun is what we have today, and the major headline is flood. Again, federal government wants Lagos, Imo, Bayelsa, Sokoto, and 11 others. Says 15 states facing flood disaster. We have Atiku accuses presidency of high-level propaganda, disinformation. No going back on nationwide strike, electricity workers vow. Ladoja will make monumental difference as Olubadan, says Oluwo. Abuja set to join global cities chart before end of Tinubu's first term, according to Wiki. Nigeria ranks 3rd globally in female genital mutilation prevalence. We're under persecution, Northern Khan cries out, calls for tolerance, inclusivity, equal rights among Christians, Muslims.
Okay, so Nigeria faces power blackout as electricity workers threaten strike. So the Sun reports, because other papers report differently, that Nigerians may experience nationwide power outages in the coming days following the National Union of Electricity Workers Employees
strike,
indefinite strike, which started on Wednesday, according to them, and the industrial action. Because me, I don't notice the light awful, but they are insisting that a lot of their issues have not been met. One of the very annoying ones is the grievance is that there's been non-implementation of the national minimum wage. It's so annoying to think that the national minimum wage has not been implemented for these workers, and these are majorly workers of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN. And so they also have casualization of workers, which we know for a fact is popular in that sector. Non-provision of working tools and materials, including protective equipment, PPEs. They've not been provided since 2021. It's all right. Non-payment of staff salaries since April 2025, which is September 2025. And they have several other unresolved issues that are, arising from the unbundling of the TCN and non-payment of retirement benefits, which we know. But, certain things are just tools for operation that you should not come under these grievances, but they are there. And so they threaten the strike. But in other papers, in The Guardian and in The Vanguard, it was reported that the Minister for Power quickly stepped in and averted this strike.
So it may
and
not.
So yes, so it might.
For
it
now.
may,
So
that
we're waiting for updates. Hopefully,
update. But it is annoying to think that these were the grievances that led to the strike.
Okay, let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue looking at the papers. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. We're still looking at Daily Sun.
Okay. Yeah, I have a story. Okay. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, that's NIMET, has issued impact-based weather forecast. It's a warning of heavy rainfalls and strong wind in several parts of the country between Friday, September 26th and Sunday, September 28th. Today is Friday. That means more rains are coming. According to the bulletin released yesterday, September 25th, they said moderate to heavy rainfall is expected on Saturday, September 27th, over Taraba, Benue, Ondo, Edo, Delta, Imo, Anambra, Enugu, Abia, Ebonyi, Rivers, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River States. Waiting can remain. Light to moderate rainfall is likely to cut across most parts of the country. They said in Kano, Bauchi, Katsina, Jigawa, Gombe, Yobe, and Borno are expected to experience low rainfall. They said those ones will have minimal risk of flooding. Then Sunday, September 28th, moderate to heavy rainfall will persist in parts of southern Taraba, Benue, Cross River State, and other regions, while they will also record light to moderate rainfall in the northern states, which include Sokoto, Katsina, Kano, Jigawa, Yobe, Bauchi, Gombe, and Borno. They said although those ones will not have any form of hazard. Okay. So they are cautioning of, the risk of the strong winds over parts of Yobe, that's the northern parts, Katsina, Kebbi, Gombe, Borno, during this 3-day period. So people need to be more careful. The data is a lot. I don't want to start mentioning all the states, but I think people should read and know. If your state is mentioned, find a way to do more of your business indoor. Just protect yourself. Just find a way while the government is trying to do what they can.
Because I'd seen that video of the lady during the flood, where they threw a rope to her and tried to drag her across, and the water carried her. So sad.
I don't even know why they thought it was doable.
Yeah, so sad. So United Nations Education Fund, UNICEF, has said Nigeria ranks third globally in the prevalence of female genital mutilation, despite it being outlawed. Imagine, this is... The UN agency equally called for collective actions to end the menace in Nigeria in order to meet the 2030 target set to end it globally. It also raised the alarm that Nigeria makes a surge in cases of FGM if urgent and concerted steps were not taken to demystify the myths and traditions sustaining the practice, particularly in the Southwest. Chief of UNICEF Lagos Field Office, Mrs. Selin, stated this in Benin, Edo State, at a 2-day media dialogue on advocacy against female genital mutilation, which was organized by UNICEF in collaboration with the Oyo State Ministry of Information and Orientation. She disclosed that nearly 20 million women and girls had already been subjected to the procedure, mostly before their 6th birthday, before they had a right to have a say. Because when you're 6, to consent, say yes or no, know what's going on with your body. And so she described the practice as a grave violation of the rights of women and girls, and emphasized, that no cultural or religious tradition should come at the expense of their dignity and health. That the practice continues driven by myths and traditions despite it being outlawed, and that they are optimistic that this tradition would totally end with this generation. It's terrible.
So the power of data information, if we hadn't seen this, I wouldn't have believed that this was still happening in our country.
Yes.
I thought it was long gone.
Sad.
Let's look at our next paper, Vanguard. Major headline in the Vanguard is why apathy dogs voter registration in Southeast, South-South. Traders lament as Lagos government demolishes 19 buildings at Trade Fair Plaza. Excitement in Ibadan as Ladoja ascends throne today. ADC to members, quit other parties now. Blackout averted as electricity workers shelve strike after federal government's intervention. Okay, I see what you said there. 2026, more worries for Chelle as Onyedika suffers injury. 2026 WCQ, more worries for Chelle as Onyedika suffers injury. We have Mosop, others reject Tinubu's oil resumption in Ogoni. Okay. Tinubu promotes 52,000 paramilitary officers in 2 years. This is according to Interior Minister. DMO offers 200 billion naira federal government bonds for subscription. And finally, we have Nigeria attracts $19.92 billion investment signals in Q2 25.
Okay, so about 19 buildings yesterday, mostly plazas in the new Mandela Plaza area of the national of the popular trade fair complex were demolished by the Lagos State government through what we call a joint task force of the physical planning. Let me get the agencies, Lagos State government offices, not just physical planning, all their offices that involves land. I'm trying to get that. But, they went into the market and demolished those buildings, amounting to the tune of about 150 million across the market. Market people are insisting they had no notices. Nobody told them they were coming. They had no prior notices of, warnings of them moving their buildings, and people's investments were just, taken down within the market. some of the eyewitnesses insist that they got approval. Lagos State, on their own part, they're insisting there was no approval. So the Ministry of Physical Planning, Lagos, the Lagos State Building Control Agency, the Lagos State Urban Renewal Agency, the Lagos State Physical Planning Permit Authority, and some heavily armed police officers under the task force went for this assignment, and they insist that they would not allow this building. According to the Lagos State government's Senior Special Assistant on New Media, Jubril Gawat, who posted it on X, he says that the demolition targeted illegal developments, structures without statutory approvals, defective structures, building erected on setbacks and drainages, and that they can no longer fold their arms as a government and allow unapproved developments, block critical infrastructure, and endanger lives within the state. Most of the eyewitnesses insist they had approvals from federal government, and that even if Lagos State wanted to exercise their powers as a state, notices ought to have gone out before this. Only one person said they were notified. Every other person said they were not notified, and but we can see the pictures of the building. Some people had their goods still in the shops while the demolition was happening. I don't know who's right, who's wrong. I hope that there'll be a human face to this, because investment is a lot of money. One person said they took bank loans to build theirs, and so we will pay.
Who has more SOP?
Yes, so I do. Sorry, 1 second.
I can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so let me take why apathy dogs voter registration in Southeast and South-South. So if you look at the paper, there's a picture that just gives the data. The Southeast, it shows online registration so far in 5 weeks. We have 76,493. This is the Southeast. For physical registration, we have 22,991. As compared to the North, where they have over 3 million already for online registration and 182,588 for physical registration. So it's saying that 5 weeks into the ongoing continuous voters registration being conducted by INEC, apathy has continued to trail the exercise in Southeast, South-South geopolitical zones. The numbers that I mentioned earlier were also listed here. And they said that they drew their figures from 10 states of both zones, and less than 578,904 online pre-registrations and 83,284 physical registration recorded by Osun State, one of the 6 states of the Southwest. They said lack of faith in the electoral process, inadequate information and publicity, cumbersome process, lack of confidence in INEC, and poor mobilization, among others, were fingered as being responsible for apathy in the Southeast, South-South, and other parts, and some parts of the country. But according to INEC, online pre-registration covered 15 to 21 September, while physical registration covered September 15 to 19. Then we definitely have other stakeholders, talking about this. Obviously seeing the numbers. They said ACF says that urges Nigerians to go out and register. ACF is in support. It is an integral part of democratic process. No eligible citizen should be complacent about it. And that's Arewa Consultative Forum. Afenifere is saying that waiting for last minute, it's as a result of mistrust that people have for the electioneering process. And we have PANDEF saying that the exercises need to be made less cumbersome. I know that some people have made some complaints about how the process is being done. So I hope that that is also put into consideration and updated so that it's less cumbersome for people.
So this registration is for the upcoming elections?
Yes, we've started.
When you have your voter's card, you're supposed to go and register again to vote for the
next year. You're meant to register, and then for those who are new as well, as 18 years, you have a people.
Okay, so the movement for the survival of the Ogoni people, MOSOP, and other Ogoni groups have rejected the planned resumption of oil production in Ogoni land by the federal government, describing it as insensitive to the plight of the people. The MOSOP expressed deep concern about the potential impact of the decision on the mental health, safety and livelihood of Ogoni residents if exploration resumes without addressing their basic needs. In a statement which was issued on Thursday by the Mossop President, Mr. Fagolo Nsuke, he said, while we remain committed to a permanent resolution of the Ogoni crisis, we wish to express our dissatisfaction with the conduct of one party to the conflict, which is the Nigerian government. He said the Nigerian government has assumed the role of arbitrator despite being a principal abuser. He also faulted the secrecy surrounding the move, insisting that no input was sought from the local communities whose farmlands and fishing ports have been devastated by decades of oil exploration. He also said that they made no contribution to the process whatsoever before the report was submitted, and that they disassociate themselves and the Ogoni masses from it. He further demanded justice for the Ogoni people, including the posthumous exoneration of the 9 activists that were executed on November 10th, 1995. And they require unbiased negotiations to resolve civil rights and economic injustice in the region. And if we remember, they suspended exploration in this region for 32 years now.
Yes,
That's a long time. And I can't believe that in 32 years, the Ogoni crisis has still not been resolved. It speaks a lot about who we are as a people. Because people suffered through that, their lands devastated and stuff. And now they want to resume exploration without actually solving
So the president yesterday, I took it where the president, met with stakeholders from Ogoni, as well as the governor of Rivers State, who led the team to see him. And he ordered that the NSA should look into most of these issues. We were most concerned about the environmental impact of the exploration initially. The abuses, whether it's been cleaned up. And
so yesterday there was a little update on it. Sorry, I have to cut you off because we have to go on a break, and when we come back, we'll look at our hot topics. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. So today we saw a trending post by lawyer Dami Esquire urges wife to secure your future, buy property in your name, warning that divorce, separation or polygamy can happen even in happy marriages. She says loving your husband is fine, but women shouldn't tie their financial security to a man. Support his projects if you wish, but own property yourself. And this has sparked debate. Is it smart empowerment, or does it breed distrust and undermine the idea that two shall become one? And should the same advice apply to men? What are your thoughts on this? And remember, you can join us on 020-1635-2013 or 0902-416-3440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Ladies, so this is about, I think we have had this conversation quite a bit, but to hear it from someone in the legal profession, I guess it brings it to mind again how important this conversation is, which is that women do not be comfortable just having your husbands own everything in their names, that women should be able to also own something and put it under their name specifically. But the conversation is, does this really help in making sure that there's unity in a marriage? Or this sort of advice, you're just planting seed of discord and distrust amongst people? How do you see this?
Okay, before you even address that, who asked questions say should men take the same advice? Yes. Are we in the same world? This is not a man's world. Men are already doing the thing, I think that I totally agree with what she has said, except that, secretly owning the property is where I disagree. Okay. So own properties in your name, chest it with your chest. My love, I love you. You are my absolute love of my life. But you see that land in Ikorodu, it's in my name. Because you also need, if you have kids, for instance, or, dependents, you need somebody who is like a trust holder. Okay. Somebody who knows where the properties in question are. Somebody who will oversee things for you. Because I was advising some artists and women who are friends of mine, petty traders. So I usually buy fruits and corn from a particular woman, and she's like, this man doesn't pull his weight and everything. I do everything by myself. I don't even want to open an account because they say that I should bring something for a next of kin. And she wants to make a 9-year-old, her first child then, a next of kin. I say, it's a majority that, as in an adult, that you make a next of kin. Okay. That your next of kin cannot be a child. In the event of where you are now,
really?
She will still need an adult. That doesn't make she go back, go tell them, say she be your next of king Gabi. I go clear,
Wow.
So that you need an adult. I don't know. I don't support the secrecy.
Okay.
I think it is an anti-productive idea to be secretive about it.
But there's a reason why there's secrecy.
Why you date the married way go the whole secret?
No, why you
don't trust the person. Why do you marry them?
Oh wow.
But
yeah, like you're married to everybody you trust.
No, we are married already. It has been done. So you manage what you can.
Okay.
So how do you manage what you can? I own a 10-acre property somewhere, but it's in my name.
Yeah, but and they collect it from you and sell it. Finish your point.
Then you do further, security moves like creating a trust.
Okay.
For instance, if you're a woman in that capacity, you are afraid of what the future would be. Create a living trust.
Okay.
That secures your old age, inclusive of when you're vulnerable, and then secures your dependence. So, but it's our mother's method, and it didn't work for most of them, is to tie it here. Those women who stayed in troublesome marriages, the men knew when they are closed for business, when they count their profit, where they hide the money. The fight is always, don't pack my market money. It's been from time. It's not worked. So there are more new ways of doing things. It's to announce, I get 3,000. You keep the money for the thief to keep.
That whoever
that you know what you're dealing with, and then you secure it like that. But what she said, own something. You can't. It's not rocket science. Your financial stability cannot depend on another human, because human factor. This morning, the entire work I've had at the law firm has collapsed because of human factor. I walked into the office dealing with burial, but still shouting over things that I would have just, preferred to stay away from for a month. And so because of human factor, things can happen. And you have to, as a person, carry some of your security by yourself. That's the honest truth.
Okay. So I know that there are no rules to these things. When it comes to marriage, you have to find a way to work what you have. The gift you've been given is different from the gift you've been given, different from the gift you've been given. And so what you have is look at what's my situation? What am I in here for? What kind of partner do I have? How do I work with the situation that I have? If I'm looking at Nima, that Nima can easily just say, I have 3,000 here. I have this plot of land here, and I try it and it doesn't work for me. I don't have to blame Nima. It's me who decided to use her own prototype for my unique marriage. Yeah. So when I see don't do this, don't do that, I usually see it from a place of, you don't understand that there are no absolutes. We are human beings.
True.
And we come differently, uniquely packaged. You and your partner uniquely packaged to meet each other halfway and find a way. But we need to understand that there are different types of men. So we have the protector man who provides, protects you, and also plans for you even in his demise. He thinks of you and the children, and he says, let me put this aside in your name. Let me put that aside in your name. Let me set up this trust so that in case anything happens, you people don't suffer. We have those. Then we have the devourer men. Unfortunately, yes. I just decided to give them titles this morning.
That name sounds scary.
These ones are the ones that want to chop you down. So one, they don't want you to succeed more than them. Two, they are not happy when you start making money more than them. It's okay to make small things here, but when your business is now blooming, your career is blooming and all of that, they get very jealous. They don't want that. So they collect everything that you have. We are married now. You don't need to have something separate.
Yeah.
They collect everything that you have and they use it however they want. We have situations where men collect money from their wives and use it to carry side chicks. Use it to rent houses for women, buy cars for women. It's the wife that is slaving and working. Yes, we have such situations. So in that situation, do you advise, open your mouth and say, I have 3,000 naira here, or I have 1 lakh here? No. Women have always found a way to survive in very difficult situations. And that's why they come hiding things because of the situation that they found themselves. So for instance, I grew up in a place where I was taught to hide. Put it here, 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 right? And then I got involved into a relationship that, Auntie, what are you? You don't need to hide. So I had to start doing another unlearning because of the situation. Imagine if I had married somebody who was a devourer husband. I will want to hide for life because that's the only way I know to protect themselves. So before you jump into open it, marry somebody you trust, fine. You may be lucky to find somebody who is a good person, but there are many people who are unlucky to find their husbands that they can't trust. They are already in the marriage. They are having kids in the marriage, and they know that they cannot trust. How do they protect themselves. So it's good that if you are in that sort of relationship, you find a way to protect yourself. I don't know whether you want to open your mouth to say everything, if it works for you that way, but if it doesn't work for you that way, it's also okay to protect yourself. If anything happens, nobody will be asking you, did you share this information with your husband? They'll be asking you, so how do you survive? Do you have anything set aside?
Yeah.
How do you pay your children's school fees? So if you think in that direction, you will decide what works for you.
But the author also said something about the fact that life changes. So this very protective, loving man that you have today, you can never be sure of what will happen tomorrow. So I think that's where she's coming from. But I hear you, Amaka.
Okay. So I hear Nima's side, I hear Bisi's side. So let me tie it in, especially as regards the conversations we never have as adults. It's so funny how everybody is busy committing sin while dating and being okay to show personal parts of their anatomy, but they don't want to discuss the things that matter. They don't want to have the hard conversations. Yeah. And then when you say, oh, she likes money too much, it's always about money, it's always about, anyhow you want to look at it, even amongst the poor, money is important. Everybody, this kitty kata kata we are running every day, this rat race, is all about money and comfort. Why will you not have that conversation? So why am I saying this? Before you get married to somebody, we all have our dreams and aspirations and the type of man or woman that we want to be with, right? And regardless of the fact that they'll tell you that when you write this list, that the list doesn't have to be complete, that if you have 30%, you can go with 30%, right? But then there's certain conversation you should have. You need to understand your partner and how your partner understands money. And how your partner understands. See, you want to understand how someone operates or understands love and how they love you, but then you don't want to understand how someone understands money and their mindset towards, protecting money, doubling money, multiplying money, you don't want to know those, even chopping it. You don't even want to know how now. And so the reality is that when you're with somebody, the problem, we see the red flags and we don't tell ourselves the truth. When you're with somebody, you see how they spend. You see their drive to make money. You see their drive to save. You see that you can tell, So in situations like that, you need to educate yourself, tell yourself the truth, and then that can inform certain decisions moving forward.
I love that as well. But let's go on a short break. When we'll come back, we'll dig deeper into our conversation. Please stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. Amaka, you said something that I found quite profound, the fact that we would share everything with someone, be very intimate, and yet cannot have conversations on our finances. Please go ahead.
Yes. So most times people don't even know you date someone for so long. Some people say, oh, they were in a 10-year relationship, 5-year relationship, 2-year relationship. You don't even know what your spouse owns. You don't even know, you don't even know their financial status in terms of, do you own property, or what are your plans towards investment goals? What do you set aside? What are our plans for us, our children? What's going on? Those hard conversations.
Well, Amaka, they say to us that when you ask those questions, because you are
outside. But you see, that's why there need to be a reorientation of these things, because even mothers need to start telling their sons that it's important to even have women or date girls that can ask you those hard questions, because they also help set you up mentally in terms of driving your goals to where you want. Because let me tell you something, women have a lot they bring to the table mentally, especially when they're dating a man. Do you understand? Most times, that's why when you see a man that, so let me use this as an analogy. I remember when my eldest brother, he was in Canada for school. He went to school really early, 15, 16 A-levels. And then he started dating his now wife, right? And then my parents now heard that they were cohabiting. Oh my God!
Flipped.
Not just because my uncle and aunties that were calling my parents to tell them that this was happening. Like, they were making such a big deal of it, and whoa. So my mom now went to Toronto to visit them. With the way she was going with the shout and everything. By the time she got there, we were now waiting for her to now call and now say everywhere has scattered. She has chased the girl that came to distract her son. Mother said, no, I left her. Because the way they're behaving like brother and sister, whispering, they'll be doing things like team. And I've seen that she has given my brother structure, made him have a sense of direction and everything, that she has watched everything. This lady is good for, she's good for him. Yeah, she's mature, she's good for him. So it's important to know, because women help you have a sense of direction. They're together, this is how many years now, right? And women help you have a sense of direction. So when you have a woman that asks you those hard questions, not because she's a gold digger, you should be proud and happy that you have that type of woman. So invariably, a woman having her own property in her name, there's nothing wrong with that, as Nima said, as far as it's not shrouded in secrecy. But also understand BC's perspective that depending on who you marry and where you enter, because the men can also pretend, women pretend, men also pretend. A man can, men are also gold diggers. A man can also see you and say, oh, this person is smart, this person is headed somewhere, this person has goals and aspirations. You know what? This one will give me easy, soft landing. Let me also enter. And then they chop you down. So it's about not just having that conversation before the marriage, but you need to keep reevaluating your marriage and your relationship over and over again. Every 1 year, as a family, you should have a draw board and say, okay, this is 2025. What are achievements? What are our plans? Where did we come from 2024? What are we going to? End of the year, you do the same thing.
Thank you, Amaka. But we have a call. Oladi Pupo from Arepo. Oh, sorry,
we lost the call. Yeah. So
I was going to say, you know, you made a very important point about you need to look at this advice based on your own personal situation. But there's also, as I said, the author was talking about the fact that life changes, things change. So you have a man who you do everything together. Everybody looks at you and admires you that this is a marriage that's working very well. But then, let's say in the future, he's making so much money. Now, as you know, a man making a lot of money, everybody's eye is on him. Before you know it, there's somebody who is claiming there's a child out there. Before you know it, there's we have to marry this one as second wife. The man that was your best friend has now become a polygamous man. So in that case, after you have already given all your trust and allowed him to handle everything, don't you still think in that situation, that advice still applies, because you can never tell the future?
Okay, the advice is a good one, right? I just put it in a different context so that people will pick the advice and apply it how it works with their situation. It doesn't mean it's a bad advice. For some people, they can take that advice hook, line, and sinker, because that's the situation where they're in, where they know that they have to look out for themselves, and that's okay. There's no wrong in that. There's one thing about how God says do not judge, because he's the one that sees intentions. So we can sit down here and say, no, as a wife, you should not hide what you have. It is wrong. It is a sin. It is a taboo. And this person is reacting based on the shege she has seen in the marriage and how she's thinking of preserving her children's future going forward. All those is a lie, is a sin, is on your pocket. God is not saying her like that.
Let me interrupt you. I know. I'm sorry, but we have Oladi Pupo is back. Oladi Pupo, good morning.
Good morning. Hello?
Good morning. We can hear you.
Yeah. It is good for both parties to... Hello?
We can hear you. Please, just go ahead.
It's good for the two parties to set target for themselves. That in a situation where you see the woman, the man, that is not moving towards that target, the lady can go ahead to sell, to do the property in her own name. Okay. Because at the end of the day, if the man fails, the problem will be the woman's problem at the end of the day. Yeah. So it is always good for women to do that, to acquire property in her own name. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Oladi Pupo.
Yes. So now the advice we give here, sometimes we assume that all things are equal. We assume that everybody is reasonable and everybody is working towards, I have a future, I have a plan, I have a goal. We have wicked men and we have wicked women. They are in the midst of all of us, and we see them and we see how that works out. And unfortunately, those wicked men and wicked women have husbands or wives. Somebody married them. Now, if you find yourself in such a situation, would you apply the regular all things being equal rule? Of course not. You're not expected to accept you're a fool. So the advice is every woman, no matter how well your husband provides for you and caters for you, you should have work in your hands. You should be independent. Because anything can happen. Even the protector husband can disappear. Even the protector husband can die. Anything can happen. Can you as a woman stand on your own 2 feet and carry your children and run? Can your children survive with you? Do you have enough work? Leave assets first of all now. Do you have enough work that would sustain you? That, oh, you're coming to cry in your house. Hey, sorry, oh, this one happened. And you are saying, I have a job, I have a business, support me, I have to pay fees and all of that. Do you have something? So the advice is, allow the protector husband protect you the best way he can, but make sure that you're not idle, that you have work, that you have business, that you have investment, no matter how small, that if anything happens and you are alone, you'll be able to feed, you will not beg. Once you sort that out, no matter what life throws at you, the universe is beautiful, God is beautiful. He will always find a way to lift you out of it. So instead of sitting down and planning, in case they now marry somebody and discard me, focus on building yourself. Focus on the value that you're going to have, because that value will feed you for the rest of your life, whether or not somebody is there to protect you or not. This advice is for every woman going into, whether devourer husband or protector husband,
whoever you're married to.
Fumilola
is on the call. Fumilola, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Yes, ma.
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello. Okay. Can I speak?
Please. Fumilola, you can speak. We can hear
my
you.
contribution to it is that, yes, in this situation, I am married. But in this situation, I think when a man when you see a man that is not walking in the same direction with you, I think you have to just do your thing your way. This question, someone asked me one time that if you want to acquire property for yourself, why can't you put your husband's name? I said no. I can't put my husband's name. Neither will I put my name. I would rather put my children's name. And the person was like, that's unfair. I said, unfair. It is the situation I find myself in marriage that makes me to put up that decision. So that is my take. If there is any woman with a man that you are seeing the man's way are so shady, you just have to do your things your way and ask for God's wisdom. That is my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Fumilola.
Fumilola, can't you just put it in a trust for the kids, since you want to put it in their name, but don't put it in minor's name. So there are certain legalities that affect property holding. For instance, you have children below 18 and you put properties in their name. It's a void contract, except you hold in trust for them. And so
every day.
A lot of things like that. And we cannot continue to do things on impulse. I believe that a wise woman owns in her name, and my religion supports it. Whatever I own is mine. Builds or plans for her children. So that, because we can end up in polygamy, that it's 4 wives. And then, builds in transparency. Because we have seen certain, laudable future plan, security plan like this that, were built in secrecy that the banks are enjoying today. The companies and all of them, even in the stock exchange. Recently, I was, just searching the stock exchange. I was surprised to see some shares in my father's name. So I knew it was he had this share buying thing, but after a while, he stopped talking about it. And so we were just searching. And these things happened. Imagine it's 5 years he died. And he too had stopped buying those shares. Those shares are, So things happen like that. Things happen in various ways. As a woman, there are no perfect marriages, just as BC said, I must agree. You adjust and adjust with time. But I do not agree that, a marriage should fall apart because of the secrecy of you owning a property. There's also something called co-owning. So me and my husband, we have joint accounts, but we cannot have joint property. Help me explain. Even if we don't have joint accounts, we cook joint food, joint pots, joint everything. We have joint kids.
In the case of of betrayal or whatever happening,
if I have co-own, so that means you didn't register. You know, it's different when you buy property with receipts and when you perfect.
Okay.
If you perfect, you go to the lands, you register your deed and all of that. It's registered in the name of the draft.
Okay.
If Mr. Miriam and Mrs. Nima buy property together, that's what's registered. If you like, go and marry Mrs. Amaka, Mrs. Amaka gonna be in the lumbo. She's gonna be hanging. Okay. So you know, get proper advice and you know, own property and live life. I just want life easy. Yeah. You know, I cannot continue to live life watching my back now. You know, so certain things like that you do them. Then also, even if leave these things, you know, to time and God, you know, when you after you have planned, leave it and rest it. Because women walk around with so much baggage, with this fear. Our mothers have suffered, yes, but our generation doesn't necessarily have to suffer. Some women have decided to be overwise and, you know, targeted the very foundation of their marriages.
But let's go on a short break. When we come back, you don't want to miss this, so stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. Ladies, I need to ask you this. We've had conversations where we have talked about prenup. So a man meets you and he's made this amount of money, a lot of money, and he wants to marry you and says you should sign a prenup. I know, we have had this conversation. Everybody was banging table. No, that is not is this not the same thing as well for a man, that a man is doing to protect himself, his assets, just for the future? Don't you see it as being the same advice?
Man, we won't marry you, don't they sign prenup? They give you heads up now. So you too, that kind of marriage, if you don't have armpits money, rapper time money, all those things, you're very silly. You're a very foolish person. But I'm not saying you can love him.
Love, exactly.
No, because just as you said, no, once I sign a prenup with you, I certainly will transparently show you properties that I acquire in the marriage that the prenup would exclude you from getting. So we're going to be signing prenups. But, you know...
Can't we lovingly have a prenup?
Yes, it's a loving one now.
Describing it as if it's a fight.
No, it's a fight. Because my exposure... You know, I'm not Oyibo. Amaka, she have called Canada, she have called Toronto here. She might have exposure. But you see, my own exposure is that as a good wife, everything my husband owns. And the mama of the house, that kind of thing. So, suddenly you are bringing prenup in our economy, our culture, no problem. But you know, as I'm not a lazy woman, I cannot now own my own assets in the marriage, and the marriage properties acquired in the marriage we are jointly sharing. Do you understand? So, but the one you acquire in the marriage, we can jointly own. But the one I acquire, I will not own. The reason is because, because there's a weaker partner in the marriage. Prenups are usually for when you suspect the girl. But if two people are strong-minded people, what are they? You know, there's no fear.
Okay, it's not sounding fair.
But I was going to conclude on the wise woman analogy I put down, that you know, you should build your own in your name and plan for your kids and build in transparency your own financial assets over time, because we are all building towards when there's no more life, really. Who carry on go ever? We are building, nobody's packing it. You're building for security, for when there's nothing, for when you are no more and you have dependents who are weak. I saw, and you know the way our marriages are under the Marriage Act, as we marry, that man you say you don't trust is your next of kin. Next of kin. Let's just be serious, but you know, that's locally. Yeah. Your next of kin is the man you marry, the woman you marry under the Marriage Act, in case you die intestate. Nobody can't they dispute them. So I had a friend.
Sorry, before you go into that story, let's take Adiola from Ikeja. Good morning, Adiola. Oh, okay. Please,
who married the devourer, like BC described earlier. It was sad at the time of her passing. This woman chartered early, built her assets early, businesses everywhere, about 4 businesses. So she didn't have kids in that marriage. She was trying. And they were building and they were writing in the name of kids. You know, the goal. The man had a child. And he was next of kin. And we're just looking because it was the Marriage Act.
Outside?
But she was survived. Dependent was her mom, who was old, aged, and weak. All the thing go to the man.
Wow.
So, you know, so are we going to say that, you know, she didn't plan? She planned, she built up her assets. She just got married within a short period of time and passed, and that document entitled him to show up. Now we can't do arrangements, you know, on how all of this will come to the family. He said, no, only the house she built for her mom can go to her. he would manage the rest. But of course, what he no be done waste.
Yeah.
He couldn't manage it. Yeah. So some of these things that we over-process is critical thinking that requires it with a professional.
We have Adeyinka. Adeyinka, good morning.
I think something is wrong.
Yes. So I think at the end of the day, wisdom is profitable to direct.
Okay.
Why am I saying that? It's important as a human being that I know my weaknesses and I understand my strengths. And that when you're in partnership with somebody, you both know who has the weakness or the strength in terms of your finances or in terms of investments, in terms of property. Because as a woman, you can want to do certain things in secrecy and you're doing the wrong things. And you end up losing the property or losing the money because you don't have a sense of direction. When you're in partnership with somebody, you can say that people are signing prenup. A man can bring the prenup for me to sign.
Yeah.
And then supposing I'm the woman, there is a between both of us. He's the one that he has wealth, but he doesn't know how to multiply wealth. Supposing I'm the one that God has blessed with the wisdom to know how to multiply that your prenup, that's wealth that you have. So it's important to understand, like, because in fact, in marriages, like with my parents, my father was the custodian of all the documents, the important things in the family, the safe and things. So even if you're looking for anything or whatever document, you know that you go to daddy. Daddy keeps it. Yeah. In my immediate brother's and his wife's marriage, he's the one that keeps. So you need to understand who has certain strengths. If the husband is good at sighting good lands and knowing where, having foresight to know that, like when I was in law school, there was no Lekki Phase 1. And then now Lekki Phase 1 was going to be this Lekki Phase 1. And he had the foresight. So it's about knowing who has what strength in a marriage. Especially where kids are involved.
Is prenup not a form of transparency? We have talked about transparency here.
Yes.
Is it not someone being upfront with you? Or else the person may have assets and hides it or puts it solely in his name and you are never aware. So
when someone gives me a prenup, for example, to sign, I respect you and I respect your guts and audacity. Do you know why? Because you're telling me, you're putting the cards on the table, especially to say, I love you, but this love has conditions. Yeah, and I respect that. Yes. I respect that. I respect the fact that you're telling me that, see, baby, I love you, but you know this love, you know, reach money. This. No rich property. That means you have to fend for yourself. Whatever, anyhow you have to, whatever I can get from this love that I have for you, to have your own things, good and well. But just know that if anything goes wrong, you don't have, my love does not have protection though.
Okay, Amaka, we'll come back and question that because we have Ifoma on the line. Good morning, Ifoma. Okay, I don't think she's here. Let's go on.
So that's my thoughts on that, right? So you're clear. You've put the cards on the table. So I also have to give myself small wisdom and then pick up on the cue that you've given. It's just simple. So it's all transparency. I respect that. So there's nothing wrong in that.
This will you be able to help
me
explain this to show that prenup and you putting assets aside because you have noticed a certain behavior, how is it different? How is it similar?
Different. Okay. It's different. I don't think any woman who wants to build her home goes in guns blazing. When you fall in love with somebody, whether it's love or no love in the marriage, you're getting into a marriage because you want to build, you want to expand, you want to have the fruits of the marriage, your children, you want to see them in their old age, you want to still be together with this man for a very long time. That's naturally the idea. But unfortunately, with everything that is good, there are other sides. It's like two heads and tails, two yin and yang. There's always the good and there's always the evil. And sometimes, even while you're thinking good, it still ends up being evil in a way because you've likely ended up with the wrong person. So I don't think you're getting into a marriage because you want to separate what you own or separate what you have, especially if you are starting the marriage from scratch, the way some of us started. If you are marrying someone who has already lived, who has already built, maybe you are getting involved with a billionaire or something, and they want to preserve and protect, it's because they do not see you as part of that they have created. And it's okay because you didn't meet me when you were building all of that. And you are not, you don't, I believe you don't love me enough to want me to be a part of that. Or maybe you have seen something in me that says, this one will finish my money or let me preserve it. And that's okay. Once you do that, you have drawn the battle line. Even if we're not saying anything, even if I'm all lovey-dovey and all of that, I now know that in this relationship, I am on my own. It's different from getting into a marriage and then realizing that this person is either a fool.
Oh God.
Yeah, hey, if I give you examples, I have seen still living examples. Is either this person is a fool or this person has been sent by my village people to ruin me. And then you now, because of that, now choose to start doing things a different way. That's a different ballgame. So prenup, and now a woman choosing to, because I have married and a fool. I've seen relationships where she's working the money, they're trying to build a house. This man is collecting the money and duping her. Yes. She's building a house for them and he's duping her.
Inflating prices.
He's only inflating. They will say they bought 500 blocks. You go there, it's 100 blocks.
And this is your own husband.
Your own husband. So in that situation, would you say you would just go transparency? You'll be a fool to be transparent.
All right, ladies. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll still look at our conversation. Please stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. So, ladies, I believe strongly that prenup and this conversation we're having, Plan B is what I'll call it, is exactly the same. One, let me do one after the other. First bullet point. The reason we're talking about Plan B is because we've seen situations in marriages where, things haven't worked out. So we're advising women on how to, protect themselves going forward, right? So the reason prenup came about is not only because somebody does not like you, it's because they have seen over the years how some women or people that have less target people, the spouse, target the spouse that has more just for the sake of marrying them, and then they can take away from them. So for me, if you have that understanding that it's not really that we don't love you, if Plan B is not about love for you, if Plan B is not questioning trust and it's not questioning love, then we should see it the same way as prenup, because it comes from years and years of hearing. So it may not have happened to you directly, but hearing stories, seeing how human beings can be. And they're saying, for those who have money, this is how to protect yourself. It's just another way. For Plan B is for women who find themselves in marriages where the spouse may not be all financially there, smart. This is how to protect yourself. I just think it's good advice for different groups of people. Just as you have said.
Can I poke into that?
I beg, don't even poke matter.
Yes,
I want to answer you.
Okay,
you see the way the man wake up one morning and find out that the house he's living in that he has been paying rent belong to me. That's how Plan B is to me. It's because he don't know. All of us, we have not experienced it before. It shocked you, it shocked me. So we're going to do as we see.
So let me tell you something. Why I disagree with you, right? I hear you, but there's something they say that if they give you chicken to share for the whole village, and you cannot keep leg for yourself, they should check you. Who washed you when you were bettered? Because wisdom demands that whatever you have, you would find a way to keep some for the rainy day. Now, Plan B for a woman, whether you are in a protective husband's house
or a
divorcer's husband's house, is that you must have something aside for wisdom, for protection, for not just you and your children, but even for the man. We've seen situations where men have money, and all of a sudden the money disappears, and then they're looking to the wife, I need help, where can I get a loan? And the wife does not have shishi to bring out to rescue the home. Plan B, every woman should have it. That's our culture.
You see this
and it's for protection of even that your husband. I've said it here. There was a time I was putting money inside Kolo. So our relationship was transparent, very transparent from the beginning. We started together, and so I knew his pay, I see his check and everything and all of that. He knows my own, and we were building together. But I was advised to always keep something aside, even from the feeding allowance. One particular day, at that time, we're building our first building here, exhausted every cash that he had, no shishi, and he needed money to pay for something urgently. And he was lamenting, hey, who do I ask for money? They're going to pay me at the end of the month, but I need to lock this thing down and all of that. And I did like this. Chest down. So I have a color somewhere. He did not forgive me immediately. It took him time, but later he understood what happened. He said, what? You have what? I said, I have a colo somewhere. Should I go and bring it out? He said, you have been saving. I said, yes. I'm not a fool. You cannot give me 40K for feeding allowance, and I will chop everything with my 2 fingers. I was so raised like that. And I opened colo, and we counted all the money. That's how I was choking it in. 1,000, 500. Hold on, no.
done,
We
bro.
counted all the money.
Thank you,
And we
Bisi.
brought it out.
Thank you. Let me take Ijoma. Good morning, Ijoma. Ijoma, can you hear us? Okay.
Something around the
I'm enjoying this.
Yes, we counted all the
Continue.
money, brought it out, and he was able to do what he did. He used me to preach in
Okay,
church.
Ijoma is here.
I'm Ijoma from Manchester.
Hello,
Good morning,
Ijoma. Good
Ijoma.
morning.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Clearly.
Hello.
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 Ijoma, we can hear you. Ijoma, you're live. We can hear
Can
you.
you hear me? Okay. Yeah. This I'm my first time caller.
Oh, welcome to
Yeah. So I've been listening to this story. I've been listening to your story. So I've been listening to your story.
Ijoma, just listen to your
I feel
phone,
like I
not the
would like to
TV.
contribute with my personal experience.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is she still there?
Okay, so yeah, I'm talking from my own experience. In all these things, like Dixie said, you just handle this situation according to your personal experience. I use myself as an instance. I married to this guy. My story is really, I would say my story is funny and terrible as well. So I married this guy. We are from the same local government. We he lived in Manchester, in Bolton to be precise. I was working in River State as a nurse. So have been a very good girl. I'm not like praising myself, but people knows me. I know myself. Yeah. I'm a church girl. I married at the age of 36 as a virgin. So he sent people to come and do all the dowry things up to Manchester to live with him. Fast forward, within the first 3 months, man, I began to see a lot of things. Man, I wanted to be, but in my house, you're married, you're not going back. So, and I became pregnant immediately. So, I had my first son. After I had my first son, his narcissistic behavior unfolded in its full form. He's a terrible narcissist. Wow. So, when I saw how things was going, I just told myself, you need to get sense. I wanted to buy a land then, but when I wanted to buy that land, I wanted to just surprise him, buy that land, put it in his name, and then all of a sudden just give it to him without him even knowing about it. So when I saw how he unfolded, his behavior became, and he had turned and all of that, I bought that land still, but I put it in my name. When I told my brother that I want to buy the land in my name, he was like, why? Because we are not raised like that. We are 7, we are 2 girls and 5 boys. We don't hide things. I know where I'm coming from. So I put that land in my name. So his behavior kept worsening by the day. So fast forward, when I had my first son, my mom was to come, but not come. When I came here, I was doing before I came, while I was in Nigeria working, and so I was running my degree program by funding myself, supporting myself. So for me, the next year, we have now married traditionally. Then because I'm now married, I told him that, I want to pay myself, just to tell him as my husband, just to know, for him to know what I'm doing. He said, no, I should not pay, he will pay. That when I come, we discuss about it. I came, that was the end of that study. He didn't pay, I didn't continue the studies. He said, I will study here, all that and all that. Fast forward, I didn't study here again. Now, when I saw things, I noticed that he just caught me. I have business. I was into decoration business. You know, I do some things for some big companies and all of that. All my equipment, everything, I left in Nigeria. I was saying my plan was just when I come, I will continue with that. But everything cut off. He was like, put me down, that I will not. He was a student nurse then, 10 years, and was also working, I know, part-time. So fast forward, everything about me thought, and I was not earning work. I was not earning money, sorry. Okay. So I had my boy, my mom didn't come. He said he doesn't have other people, so he brought his mom. But I thought his mom is my mom, and no issues with that. The mom came, we are all fine. She came, and after that,
sorry to interrupt you, but just because of time, could you tell us how it ended? So sorry to interrupt you.
To fast forward, when I had my second baby, I said, okay, can you just bring my mom so that she can support me? She said, he's not bringing anybody. But then, unfortunately, I had my baby via emergency care. So before then, I worked with Amazon. I gathered, I saved some money. Even when I was pregnant, a very tedious job. So, but I had to do the job because I am not the kind of person that can stay on my own and without. I'm not one person. I don't depend on anybody for my livelihood.
Okay.
So, make some money. I don't eat with 2 hands in the mouth. So when I had my CS, and then. So bring my mom. Okay, I'll sponsor you. He refused. I left it. Okay. Then later, I started work again, and I was working. The childcare in this country is terrible. He was not supporting me in any way. He doesn't. In fact, everything about the kids. Yes, he pays all the bills in the house, but everything about my kids, their feeding, their clothing, everything.
You take care of that. So from what I hear you, Ijoma, is that because of the sort of person you had married, you had to step up for yourself and protect yourself. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing your contributions, but we have to go because of time. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with our conversation. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us.
Yes, so in wrapping up quickly, the story I was giving. So I brought out with my full chest, brought out the colo, and then counted the money. It was enough for what he needed to do, and there was change to run the house for a bit. And though he was upset that I was saving without letting him know, he found a way to understand later that I needed to do it. And I called him, I said, as you did not go outside to borrow money, now, did I not hide our shame? It's our name, it's our family name. So if you don't have and I'm able to help you, that is what I'm here for. I cannot eat with my 2 hands. I was like, okay, anytime you're saving, tell me. I said, I cannot tell you too. Because if I tell you, you will collect it, your eye will be inside, I will not be able to build it. So anytime you need money, till today, even if I'm shouting I'm broke, my husband said, please go and sit down. Go and open something. I'm sure you are hiding money somewhere. So it's our culture that a woman, the scripture says, help meet, should be able to meet your needs when you really need it. If I am there, I cannot meet it. What am I doing? I've not grown. I'm not helping. I'm useless as far as I'm concerned. So the prenup is different. This one is, it is our culture. It is our tradition. As a woman, I'm here to help you, to help your me so that we cover our shame. Okay. Outsiders will not see our nakedness.
Thank you. Do we have any?
I wanted to quickly join this story that BC says, because it puts in perspective what we women, how African women see that prenup thing. Okay. So what we are doing when we're putting aside this property is to secure not just ourselves, but that family unit of your own branch of that extended family you're from. It's from all the traumas of women. Get out, we and your children. It's our brother's house that women started to put aside these things. In times of need, you show up for your husband, you give them. A lot of African women, if they sit down and tell you how many times, I know someone in a polygamous home that they were in a one room, and the husband married another wife. And she quickly decided, okay, let me build the house. Lay the foundation and build the house of that place. Because and the people say, hey, she wants to claim him. It's because she wants to jazz him. Now she now went and built her own. You know, so a lot of that's why prenup will be strange to us, because prenup means that you're just putting us out for calling one person a gold digger. Whereas nobody was digging. Everybody was just, preparing for when you're weak, for when a man is in need and nobody shows up. All of those kind of things. There was a story I wanted to share when BC was talking of a man who had brought, it's even public, I think I read it online, of a man who was buying a property in Lekki and he had paid 70 million of the money. He was supposed to come back. He paid another tranche. So what the total value of the property was about 90 million. So he paid in installment, I think 2. He paid the first one, the second installment, but he didn't finalize payment. The real estate broker in the scheme of things was waiting for the balance. He didn't see this man. He didn't know where the man went, and the buyer had received an installment percentage, a very huge percentage of, I think about 90% of the money had gone to him. And so they were waiting, they didn't see. Eventually he went online because the man was doing it in secret. Searched the name, used his name and she just searched and found out there was an obituary of the man. The man had passed about a month ago. Obituary don't day outside, everything. They are from a particular tribe where the woman know they own anything. So by the time he was able to reach the wife, she was already outside homeless with her children. They have collected everything. They have rushed them to the place that she did not know. They have collected. So he now reached out to her. She was like, She now said, hey, my husband said yes. He said that the seller had sold and held the money, and they're willing to give her back the entire money.
Good people,
the woman, as a what will you call it? Already, they have already seen why women should save. The woman did not say they should tell family.
Tell who?
Secretly collect the property, and they discarded it, gave her the funds. She was able to get a smaller property and invest in business. Those children are childless, fatherless, and of course
homeless.
And helpless. Because so those kind of helplessness, where you become a widow, where some people will be shouting, you know why women are afraid of widows? It's not like it's not an act of God. Nobody prepares that their husband should die, but because the reality that come after it, when you no longer have protection, your eye gonna cleared.
Thank you, sis. Hassan from Lekki would like to join our conversation. Good morning, Hassan.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This topic is very interesting, but I can see the executive members on the high table being myopic on one side. And Amaka, all that you said was well said. But, I can see it from the angle of a lawyer, whereby you put everything on paper, like an agreement. And marriage don't go that way here. We are Africans, we are Nigerians. And marriage is never transactional. Marriage is not about somebody declaring all what he has to you as a woman. And men have a reason for doing that. Men have a reason for not declaring their assets to their wives. It's based on security, on their own lives. Because if you declare it to most women, the next thing that will come to our mind is to eliminate the man. And men are very conscious of this. That is why they don't disclose a lot of their things to women. And all that you need in marriage is prayers on both sides, both men and women.
Yes.
Pray for your marriage to be smooth riding.
Amen.
Pray for your marriage to be a happy marriage. And anything can happen in marriage.
Yes.
Forget about trying to secure property, trying to secure that. Anything can happen along the line.
Yes.
Everything is in God's hand. We should pray for that. But in our own clan here, most educated women, they don't put their properties in their husband's names. They put their properties in their father's or their mother's name or their brother's name. And men don't complain. We don't complain because we don't care. But women are much more conscious. They want to be part of what they were not part of. Why are you so conscious to be missing in the building in which you did not contribute a dime? What is your problem? Why are you trying to know everything about money? The most important thing is for the man to discharge his responsibility as a husband. Good morning.
Good morning, Hassan.
So at the end of the day, there's no need for people to get for this marriage thing because but let's be realistic. Because where's the love and the I said it's so dysfunctional. Because if you feel this way, why get married?
Yeah.
If you feel that you're getting married to someone that wants to come and kill you, if you tell them the vulnerable side of you or how much you have or who you are, then you're scared. Then you're marrying your enemy. Then you're sleeping like and you're eating person's like, what is going on?
But
That's not what he's saying. It's the thing that BC say. You know, we say that you have to realign and unlearn. You have come into the marriage open-minded, but they shock you. If they come from left, they come from, you're wondering, where's my loving husband, the one who swore to protect me?
No, that's not what he said.
No, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. He's saying that you should
when men don't divulge to women what they have. It's because they don't want the women to come and kill them. Then why you marry somebody that you think will come and kill you?
Because the man too is trying to, the man knows that he has to have a lineage, but he just knows that he cannot trust, because he has been burnt before. People have different reasons for doing things. It is with time that trust builds. Love, or knowing a person, seeing a person's pattern, that you continue to trust and open up. If you come close and open up later, if you come open and close up, depending on what you meet, because I love you, now talk your own. Yes. If I tell you say I love you, what you go do? I love you too. Thanks.
So in this conversation, I hear us, and I think we're able to express ourselves well because we're women and we understand women's issues. But sometimes when we listen to the other side, men also have fears. You know, there are women who plan to come and destroy a home as well. There are some men who have married their enemies who are women as well. So they also think of, how do I protect myself? And some of the things that they may see that is reoccurring is that this kind of women seem to want to know what is happening with my finances. So what they do is lump everyone that asks that question in the same box, you know? So now this conversation will help us understand that, okay, not everyone that asks is asking so that they can come and get you. Sometimes you just want to make sure that we are headed in the same direction.
Understand their fears.
If you feel that the woman is out for whatever you have, why don't you protect your children? You've mentioned it in one way. You can set up a trust for the children to protect the children. Because many times why I see women fight so hard to want to know what is going on with your finances is because of our children. A woman will survive. I don't know the kind of women you people have around you people, but a woman will survive.
They say go wash your
It's just to smile face like this. People will dash you money. You will survive. But if you carry like me now that I'm carrying 3 children, but I want to dash me now.
They say wrong. What does start? How you want to carry
3 children school fees.
Let me say what
the kind
Doya
of school that they. So if I am choking eye inside something, it's because I'm thinking my children have to be okay. Whatever happens, my children. So for you to allay my fears, so I can relax, face my own money, make my own money, and all of that, is to make sure you secure your children because they are bearing your name. They are not bearing my name.
Some men know why so. You know that some people believe that my brother will help me. I'm coming to come. My brother will help me. My sister will help me. Now why their wives suffer? You know, a lot of things like that. And that brother will say, hey, you know, in some families, in some cultures, like where I'm from, the next eldest is the next of kin culturally. So what happened to your children? It was expected that when that first they say babaku, the baba that's cool is a very stupid baba. He's not an elder, he's just an older man who use all his 12 fingers to chop and leave the people whose father worked hard for the money. Don't be so that they do life. You have to now be forced to realign things. There was a man I know, I wanted to build on understanding the fears of your partner. Married honestly, sincerely loved this woman. The woman was successful, he's also successful, but he's trying to jointly build. The woman's mother's fear kept holding them back. Everything the woman was building, mother was next of kin. As if she even thinking, what if the mother falls and dies? She go have next of kin. You know, so people don't know. Then in your next of kin, it falls over to who is next again. So even if your will carries a name, the person go and die before you or right after you or die together, it will fall to someone else. So that's why when Hassan was saying pray, I said, me, because you really can't even have it totally locked up. But God help all of us. Our viewers on YouTube.
Okay, what are viewers saying?
They said, if you have built your world before you marry, that's blissful space. If you have built your well before you marry, you may plan not to be open to such women totally, but someone that built with you, you still decide to treat them like a stranger, then the problem is with you.
Antonio Okunubi says, what works for a marriage obviously might not be the same for another. Just identify the area of core competence in each partner and work around it.
Aderon says, I wonder, even after having children for each other, as talking about this.
Okay, finish.
Go on.
Chibuzomoji said, women have suffered how you are most privileged, not because of your wisdom or instinct, but because of double standard.
Let me take out Sazon. It says they play. Person where they run, if you know pursue something, or something they pursue. In any ways, shine your eyes and no lose guard. I think that's the general way to close it for me. Don't lose guard. because people can, you know, people can change.
Time Media says, I have a friend like this. He's married to an Edo woman. They jacked back to the UK and now they are having issues. The wife told me she doesn't know where my friend's properties are in Nigeria. It shocked me.
But she ought to know. That's why we say it shouldn't be beauty secrecy.
Now.
No, prenup is transparent. Now you see
the secrecy
will be transparent.
Okay, but I cannot touch it.
Yes.
Okay, wait. But I cannot touch it. I cannot have long throat.
No, not that I cannot touch it.
If a man or a woman can't as describe to you, cannot use hand to point that this is the property. What did the children inherit?
Nothing.
Who will know?
And also, just to make clear, prenup is not always you cannot touch it. Prenup could be in 10 years. If this marriage lasts 10 years, this is what I will give you out of it. You know, it's not
just
always
pay me salary. Just pay me for being your wife, pay me for raising your children, pay me for breastfeeding them, pay me for catering for them. I will take care of myself, take care of your children.
Amaka, any closing remarks?
I'm just shaking my head because sometimes you just, you know, people are projecting their fears.
Yes,
which is valid. Do you understand?
Whatever created the fear.
And whatever created the fear, because you're a product of our environment. So, and some people are in marriages are in love when they've not healed from where they are coming from. So all these things is so dysfunctional. Like that's why I keep saying that this Nigeria, we need therapists.
The whole country.
We need therapy in different phases because problem there.
But God will secure all of us.
Amen.
We are married women because you see me, I don't want
Nigerian women. We know how to pray.
No, God will secure us. So I know women who are next of kin of their husband. They will still escort them to the office, especially when I was working with the legal unit of a university. We were supposed to review a dead man's entitlement. The people that came to ask for it were family members. So my boss said, Auntie, are you a lawyer? We must see the wife. The wife was a customary wife. They marry her small. With breastfeeding children. She was just looking helpless. They say she must sign. They brought her. Sign. As she was going, I know that money have landed.
They signed her out of her inheritance.
Oh yeah, if you see the way she came with fear, oh my God, call me. She signed, and that was it.
Thank you so much, ladies. Woo! I love today's conversation. We really dug deep, and I'm sure that many of our viewers learned a few things today. That's all we can take on the show. Join Your View Pigeon tomorrow for another interesting show. Bye.
Bye. Bye.